So, this is Pixel Privateers, which I am deciding is the ultimate palate cleanser after playing Bucket Detective. This is a lighthearted romp through the galaxy collecting loot, which just could not be better for my mood right now. So, yeah, let's get a little tour real quick here. So, I've already started this game. I've got way too much crap. I got to get rid of that. So, these are my characters. Lulgang, Mirdi Tintong, Karari Wakart, and Andara Munt. One of the challenges in naming characters is you want to come up with a name that is unique, but you also want to come up with something that is familiar and recognizable enough that somebody's got something to grab onto. And I was talking about this actually with our lead writer today. We went on a walk to get cookies, as we do, and we're discussing this. And this game is definitely way over on the side of the names are too unique. I could not possibly connect to any of these. But, you know, it's space, right? And I think it's part of the joke is that the names are just ridiculous. So I am playing this set of Space Privateers. We're going on missions for some big company out in the galaxy. There's mysteries, like we're on the other side of a wormhole, and something happened to the wormhole, and so we're stranded here. We're trying to solve the mystery of that, but really what we're here to do is blast things and get loot. So this is my loot. I got way too much of it. So I'm going to just disintegrate a whole bunch of it. Just, you know what? Let's just not even check. Let's just get rid of a bunch of loot. Sure, let's keep those. And what about over here? Oh, yeah. Oh, this can all go. This can all go away. Yeah, that can go. Yep, that can go. Go. What is this? It's a tool. We like tools. Whoa, that is a lot of DPS. Okay. We're not going to disintegrate that. We're going to figure out who to give that to. Probably my guy with the highest strength. That guy. That guy needs this. And then that guy probably needs... No, he doesn't. All right. Anyway. Okay, so we've got these characters. We can train up their skills. We can unlock abilities with research. Blah, blah, blah. You don't want to hear all this. What you want to do is see this game in action. So let's go play some. So this is my ship. This is my galaxy. It's full of planets. And I'm going to ask for some missions. Oh, here's some missions. Let's go on these missions. Like this. So my fuel's going. I got to manage all my resources. In fact, my fuel, I got to keep my fuel high. So maybe I'll ask for fuel as my reward here. But okay, choose team. It's an easy choice. All of the team. Let's go. All right, so now we're really going to play Pixel Privateers. Oh, you're here. We were ambushed and taken to holding cells. I barely managed to escape. Can you please look for the others? We're on it. I hope you can find them. Okay, so this is Pixel Privateers. Oh, what the? Hey, somebody's shooting me. Stop shooting me. Yeah. Toxic gun. Boom. So it's like a little squad-based RTS, sort of. I control these 4 guys, and I just arbitrarily decided to have 4 of them. I can have lots of them. I think I can have like 8 or 10 or something. But I decided to have 4, because that's just what I felt like. Each of them has got a different class. I got these 2 fighter guys, like tanks who've got shields. I usually try to put them up in front. Ah! Let's kill that, whatever that is. Collect its internal organs. Back here we've got my engineer, who's supposed to be good at doing stuff I've never encountered before. And this is my medic, who heals my guys periodically and also shoots things. So, let's go over here. And do we have to do anything to rescue these guys? Or are we just sort of imagining we're rescuing these guys? I don't know. So usually what I do in this game is I just run around, right-click on the nearest enemy, and let these guys just sort of take care of them on autopilot, because I am playing on the lower difficulty level, and that is all it takes. Now I imagine, once I've progressed a little bit more, Or if I started playing on the higher difficulty level, this would become more challenging. And if I did that, what I would... my entire strategy would have to change. Oh, who's this guy? What I would need to do is pause the combat and use these special abilities like a universal profanophone. So like I'll have one of my tanks taunt this guy so he can't attack the guys in the back. I'll have my medic oh well, he's too far away. Get a little bit closer to use pain suppression. I would have this guy launch a smoke bomb to protect the range fighters. Oh man, he's just throwing toxic stuff at me. That's not good. So this guy will use pain suppression to keep that guy under control. Meanwhile, everybody's gonna shoot him. Wait, why do I have a... I do not have a very useful cursor right now. What am I doing? My guys are not attacking, and I don't know why. There we go. One thing that's kind of odd about this game is the fact that I've gotten very used to, in modern games, the idea that if you are controlling a bunch of characters and one of them gets attacked, they'll defend themselves. And in this game, that is not the case. You have to command every single attack these guys make. Yes, yeah. So you see, like this early in the game, I'm really not being threatened too much. So what this really is sort of like a kind of a salutary little romp through, you know, just none of the fights are particularly real. I'm just busting my way through this place, collecting a lot of gear, feeling good about my accomplishments, but not that good because they're not that hard. I am certain that there is a way to play this, though, probably at the higher difficulty level where that is not the case. So definitely not a knock on the game. Okay, so you see right here, he's coming after my guys, so I should taunt him now. And this guy should tractor beam this other guy in. Oh, did he just split open and get full of worms or something? Oh my, what is this? So I keep being surprised by new enemies and things like that. Like this game, despite the fact that it feels like it's a small, low-budget game, it's got a lot of content. It's got a lot of like just random enemies and stuff going on. All right, let's go downstairs. Oh my gosh. Ooh, got a cyborg hormone sample. So I'm just collecting all some of the loot is actual stuff I can use. Ah, stop it. Okay, my medic is getting seriously hurt. What is happening? Let's save him. And then send everybody after this guy. And just power our way through all this stuff. Oh, uh-oh. Haha. Is he farting at me? I don't know. I feel like I missed something. Is it? I think there's a downstairs I can go to back here. Yeah, so X-Rogan, originally, the first time I played this, I didn't realize there was a tactical pause. It's weird. They don't tutorialize the tactical pause. So they taught me how to play the game without pausing. And so that's how I played it for a long time. And I was like, there's no way I'm ever gonna, use any of these abilities. Like, all these characters have all these unique little abilities, but I just couldn't see myself ever using them. Because, everything's so fast-paced. Like, you see, like, can you imagine trying to keep up with this? It's ridiculous. But kind of on a whim at one point. I was like, well, oh, here's this guy. He's going to split into worms and things. Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, use your toxic gun on those guys. Just on a whim, I decided to pause it at one point, just hit the spacebar, because I've gotten used to other games where that's a mechanic, and it turns out it's also a mechanic in this game. They just never told me it was a mechanic. Which is interesting, right? Like, just the idea that mechanic is so popular, they didn't even feel like they needed to bother telling me about it. It's just, I can just discover it on my own by doing what I've done in other games. I think Extra Credits did an episode recently about game literacy. You know, the idea that much like what am I trying to say here? Much like, you know, actual literacy, like, you know, literacy with text, you know, there's a certain just expectations you have in your audience, right? Like you don't bother to give someone a book unless you know that they can read it, and you don't bother to give them a difficult book unless you know that they can interpret it and they really know what they're doing. And the games are, you know, kind of the same way, only they make a lot more demands. I mean, yeah, you have to be able to read, you have to be able to understand, but you also, there's a lot of like conventions and things, and in a lot of cases it would just, most of your audience would be completely bored if you took the time to explain everything to them. It's like, it would be like putting a reading primer at the beginning of every novel. You know, it's like you don't do that. You assume the audience is up with you. Oh wait, what is this? So my objective here says prisoner locations cleared. I think I've done everything I can do, but apparently none of what I did was clearing prisoner locations. Oh wait, what is this? Okay, oh, what? Hey, stop. Drones or something. Unfortunately, I went, because of the recruits that were available to me, I only had like one class of recruit available to me, so I was only able to sort of double down on these kind of brutish barbarian types. Now, technically, I could equip them with whatever I wanted to, but they were so specialized with their skills, I just felt like, you know, going melee made sense. But now and then I'll run into an enemy where it's like, oh no, what I really want is ranged guys. And I have limited access to those. I love the guy with just the laser that comes out of his mouth. He has such a variety of enemies in this game. Xorgan says that having semi-hidden mechanics in your game can help with player interest. And I think that, you know, to a degree that's true, that, you know, having things to discover, having, you know, sort of a deeper level of the game that not everyone immediately sees can be valuable. But the tactical pause feels like a core fundamental part of the game. Like there's parts of State of Decay, for instance, like, oh, what is that? Alright, let's pain suppression on that guy, and then have this guy bring in this guy. Take him down. Yeah, use your toxic gun. Anyway, what was I talking about? This game is very distracting. Oh yeah, State of Decay. So the ability to give your characters special abilities as they leveled up, their skills. A lot of players simply never discovered that mechanic, and a lot of sort of the fun things you can do in combat come from that mechanic. And so you see, you know, like experienced players in the game, you know, running around and doing that all the time, like using these special abilities and relying on them to survive in higher levels of breakdown and stuff like that. And then there's other players who have never even seen any of those mechanics. And so I feel like, you know, the players who never even notice those mechanics, they're really missing out on an important part of the game. And I feel like this game risks that too, you know, with not tutorializing the tactical pause. Like making me discover that on my own. They didn't feel like an interesting layer of depth. It felt like I missed out, you know? I don't want to feel like I missed out. Okay, so what am I missing? Okay, it looks like I want to go upstairs, maybe? Okay, oh, sorry, you can't actually see. Hold on, let me put my face somewhere else. There. So there's a mini-map behind my head, and I guess we'll go and look at those yellow squares, because why not? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Is there something I can interact with in here? Oh, there's a button. Oh, it's just money. I mean, don't get me wrong. Money's awesome, but... Okay, yeah. They're just money dispensers. I want some people to save from prison. That's what I want. What about this? Yep, that's not helping. Okay. You know, maybe it was just really early on. Like... That'll happen sometimes. Sometimes your objective is right at the beginning and the rest of it is just optional exploration. Like, oh my gosh. Okay. I didn't notice that the doors were interactive before. Alright, can I go to the left? Maybe? Oh, wait, what? There was another... Okay, fine. They were right at the beginning. Like, what was even the point of all that? Oh, alright. Talk to this guy. So our fuel's at 14. That's actually not that bad, but I think we should grab fuel anyway, just to be... Well, no, we can get to the next one without it. Let's go items, because items are more interesting. And this is a stream. Do interesting stuff on a stream. Assault rifle, desert cap, company helmet, GS commander, heavy company armor. The ship storage is full. What? Oh man, I didn't burn enough of my items at the beginning. Oh well. Gotta head up. X-Organ says you have a tactical pause in Baldur's Gate 2. You didn't have to use it at all. I had to use a tactical pause in Baldur's Gate 2. Maybe you're just really good at that game. I don't know. Though X-Organ does point out that, like, if the difficulty doesn't actually ramp up that much, I mean, like, if the difficulty level I'm playing at now really is the maximum difficulty level, you know, maybe it's fine for the average player just to never discover it, just to blast their way through and get a bunch of loot. So, okay. So after that experience, we come in here and we have to level up each of our guys. So, this is my engineer dude, I think. I'll level up his strength and agility, so he's good at shooting and carrying big, heavy guns. This is my medic. So my medic, I want to be smart and be good at shooting guns. And this is my strong guy. And this is my tough guy. And then this is something like, so you can decide what you want to sort the items by, because they're all just represented by icons, which, you know, lets them fit more on the screen. This is a trade-off type thing that we, you know, have to think about a lot too with the game I'm working on, is if you can fit a lot more stuff on the screen if it's just icons, but then visually I can't tell what it is. You know, these things are very different from each other, but how do I know what's what? And so you could switch it up. You could say, you know, okay, for each of these I'm going to show its icon and its name and a description or a damage value or something. But if you do that, that takes up more space and you can't show as many. And so I mean, it's a very delicate balancing act for a designer to decide, to balance like volume versus detail. And in this particular case, I feel like I kind of wish I had more detail, but I can sort it by level. So high level stuff is at the top. I can also sort it by damage. So the super high damaging things are at the top. Looks like I don't have anything that really overwhelms the stuff I already have. Oh, actually, no, that does a lot of damage. Let's swap that out. And then, is there another ranged weapon that does a lot of damage? Yeah. So I'm the amount of damage I can do is growing by leaps and bounds. One-handed bolt weapon, repeater, whatever. All right. So, and then let's get sort by armor. So things that have high armor are at the top. 681. What? Okay, well, tough guy gets 681. And then 590. It's like, seriously, these numbers are just leaping upwards. It's crazy. And then, yeah, these hats. Hats are ridiculous. Oh, it's too heavy because I didn't level his strength up. So they do some interesting things with the stats here, right? Because all the characters, you want to give them big, heavy equipment, you've got to give them high strength, but that takes away from the other stats you might want to give them. So this guy, because he's got high strength, he can carry bigger, heavier armor. And this guy is naturally more tough because I didn't put the money into strength. And so, yeah, it all kind of balances out a little bit. Does everybody have the hats on that they want? That's a better hat for you. You get a better hat. You get a better hat. And I'm just going to disintegrate everything else. Boom, 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 boom. Do, 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 do. Who needs this crap? Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Yeah, keep all that stuff for now. Well, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Yeah, we're fine. So, what that did was, by the way, disintegrating, what that gave me was matter. Matter is what I use to construct new items. I actually have to use it every time I teleport my guys. A lot of these stats are things that I have to use regularly, so I have to make sure that none of them bottom out. This is my research points. At my so item research. So any item a lot of the random items I pick up on the ground, what those are research sources. So the item will come into my inventory here and will get slowly researched over time. And while it's being researched, it's feeding research points into my repository of those right here. So I like that idea. I like the idea of research as loot. Instead of research being a thing that you just assign a scientist to just sort of idly work at a desk somewhere and it's boring, I like the idea that in a game that's all about loot, you have the research be loot. You have to go out and get items to research, and that's what gives you your research points that you can then spend on, science breakthroughs and stuff. Tractor beam duration. Assault frames and knockback effect. It's just retaliate when hit by melee attacks. Let's do that. And what else? Let's give the engineer something. Oh, I can't. Okay, well, let's confirm that. But then we've also got these items to identify. So I can just click all the ones I want to identify. And then those suck the same research points that I would have been spending on my science lab, that I spend those identifying these items, and these will hopefully be powerful, valuable items that'll be worth the resources that I'm putting into them. So we'll let that happen, and then look back at, so let's see, let's sort these again by damage, and how fancy is our... Yeah, this is even more powerful than the other stuff these guys are using. So, give him that sword. And then, gun users. Yup. that is more powerful. As is that. What is this? Oh, epic light armor. What does it do? Radiation resistance, extra stamina. Yeah, go for it. And then some kind of hat. Nope, not interested. Let's disintegrate all the hats. We don't need hats. And all this crap too. All right. So, and then I would just go on the galaxy map and pick the next place. I've got enough fuel to get here, just barely. But because you get to choose your reward at the end of each mission, I would choose to have fuel be my next reward. So, you know, basically I would miss out on some items in order to get the fuel to keep my ship going. If I run out of fuel completely, I can hit the distress beacon and invite somebody to come and help me, and sometimes it will be a bad guy. And that is Pixel Privateers. So, not much else to say. I mean, I haven't played it very far, so you can see there's a lot of variety in the enemies. I imagine that variety probably continues to grow as you go through the game. They deliberately chose to do this game visually in a fairly cheap way, I suspect, so that they could get the sheer amount of variety out of it that they have. Which is just everyone's just a little sprite that bounces around, saving on animation, saving on using a style of art that's you can replicate fairly quickly. So making good decisions to make just a very simple, straightforward little tactical action game. So I think it was they made a lot of good, interesting decisions here. So pretty pleased with the game, but it's also very simple. So there's not a lot more to say about it unless if I play it for longer and I find out that actually there's this whole other layer of mind-exploding depth that you just didn't even imagine. Maybe I'll do another video about it. But one thing I do love about this game, and I don't know if there's a great way for me to show it here. I think that visit ship. I think that's it. Yeah. So these guys. One thing you can tell is that this game is kind of a labor of love because they made this. My ship has got a bar with a live band and an MC and these little dancing characters. Like, you can sit here. Like, this is what I did this afternoon for my lunchtime stream. I sat here and we listened to this band together for a while and chatted. Like, and that's just sitting here in the middle of this game. There's a band that plays for you, and when they finish a song, the singer up here, he MCs and he talks, and there's just this ongoing, I assume, looping performance where they play this whole set. It's just crazy. So clearly, somebody loved this game. This isn't just a game where it's like somebody just, put it together, make a quick buck or something. You get that impression from some games, especially like in the mobile market. Get a sense that like everybody was sort of hired and brought on to just make a game to make money. This game doesn't feel like that. This game feels like somebody made something adorable that they loved and cared for, because that's the only thing that gets you to do something like this. The game did not need this feature. Going through triage on many games in my life, especially the game that I'm on right now, it's like you have lots of ideas that you love that you have to cut, and you end up having to be pretty savage, cutting things you really, really want to have in the game because ultimately you have to get it done. But this game kept the bar, and so you feel like somebody cared, So this bar is probably what makes me. This is the very first thing that I saw. They drop you in here right at the very beginning, and I sat here and chatted with my, the folks in my chat, and it made me like the game. So even though the rest of it is kind of simple as far as I can tell, the difficulty level isn't that high. It doesn't feel like it's challenging me that much. It's hard to keep track of, the differences between all the loot in your inventory because it doesn't give you a lot of information up front. All those problems aside, somebody loved this game, and that makes me love the game just a little bit, So, yeah. So that's how I feel about that. That's Pixel Privateers.